Hey there everybody, it's Wayne D. Welcome to the website, it's WayneD.com, and you're looking at a member of my club that I teach at in the winter, Boca Rio, and his name's Andrew Tio. Tio's a past club champ, and this is the swing that we started with here on the left side of the screen in February of this year. Last year was my first year. I started in December and worked through April. So we had a few lessons and started to work on it. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in this swing. So let's take a look at, this is the swing we started with today. So if we do a comparison relative to the one on the left, when you look at today's, you'll see a ton of improvements. So we've got the face opening, so you can see how shut it is over here. So I know that that has an impact on how the right arm and shoulder work, and you can see this thing would start to lift up. The left arm would roll, the club would lay off massively and then steepen back up. So because all his shots would start left because of the path going out and over with the face closed. So we've been working hard on the backswing. We've got it really way better to left arm parallel. But if you watch this swing over here, there's still that hesitation and lift. So Andrew does not feel, he's not aware of what happens right here. Now he's a pretty decent player, so you would think that as soon as you see something like this, he would just say, okay, I've got to stay down. So we've been working on that, and we'll get it pretty good in a lesson, and then he'll go out and play, and by the time I see him again, it's back. So we started this lesson, I'm watching this swing, I'm like, all right, why does it keep doing that? Let's find a different way to think about this. And it's pretty obvious, but my goal here was to say, okay, if we add hip flexion from P3 to 4, then there's no way that his head is going to go up like that. So you can see that's got to be 3-4 inches up. Alright, so here it is from the from face on. A lot better than it was, but still the hesitation right in here, and then the lift. Now as you can see, Andrew's got a very developed upper body. He's got big arms, big pecs, very thin waist. So you can imagine it's a tight feeling when he keeps that left arm down and in. He's going to have to really try not to lift that thing up. So first thing that we wanted to do was to do a drill where he would get it just to P3, and now the goal is, after stopping, we're going to finish and hit, but in the finish we're going to push this, or try to increase the hip flexion in the right side while maintaining knee flex. So watch the difference in the drill here. So by deepening the hip from 3 to 4, the left arm stays more in, and the forearm doesn't pronate as much. It's not going to rotate as much. So watch the difference in this transition here, just by virtue of loading in the deeper into the right. Look how nice that is right there. Now, we didn't even talk about how we wanted the shaft to flatten, so he's not really even trying to flatten the shaft, but look what happens athletically when he sequences the right way. It's crazy, right? Now the problem is that's stopping, so the drill has part of the drill is part of the problem in his real swing. It's just not a continuous motion. But without the chance to think about it, he can't change the pattern. So here it is from the front. Here's the drill from the front. So there's the continual load from P3, left arm parallel up to the top. And then you can see how much better that sequence is. Now, obviously, he's never been in a position really to try to get his hands forward. So that's going to be something to work on if we can get this loading and sequencing into a continuous motion swing. Then we can work on impact stuff. So here's the drill in slow motion. Look how nice this is. Now this one he didn't load quite as much back, but even then, look how much better that is than that. Alright, so I had him, in order to get the rest of this approach to come in a little bit less out in front of him here, I put the shaft in the ground. This is two shafts stuck together. You can see where I put it. So this is probably a hand's width from the shoulder here. So what that's going to do is encourage him to keep that left arm more inward. Now this is again a continuous motion swing, so you can see how much better that looks, even though he still lifted it up a little bit, which caused the shaft to get that little roll over and lay off here. So you can see where that is. That's a little bit on the laid off side, and then it steepens a little bit. Now this is the one that was very cool. So watch, we're going to do a couple of practice swings. So check these practice swings out. Watch how good this is. So we're trying to get this rhythm. In the drill, it's a 1 to here, and then it's 2, 3. In the real swing, we're trying to go through the 1 without the stop, but it still feels like that as you pass by left arm parallel, we're going into the ground, deeper into the hip. And then continuing, so that the thought here is to get when the right hip is going deeper, so as we push that hip back, it's going, I always tell people it's doing three things. It's deepening, it's changing direction, right? So it's starting to go, instead of going clockwise, it's going to reverse back to counterclockwise. Now you're going to do that right there in that right hip. We're going to reverse direction as it's pushing back. So there's the twist. We're pressure loading the right foot on the inside of the foot, and we're going to use that pressure load to change pressure over to the left toward the heel. That's going to give you enough lateral to get the weight over. And at the same time, we've got the whole thing rotating out around behind you as much as you can. So watch how nice this practice swing looks. And this is a fluid motion swing here. Now we're going to hit one. So the goal is to become aware of what's happening from P3 to 4, and in a real in a full swing, if you lose awareness and you make a chronic mistake, then you got to do those drills, and then you've got to come in and out of the drill and see if you can get that thing to function the way you're doing it in the drill, which is totally different. So that's when you watch this swing, and he does pretty good there, but the club is still out in front of him a little bit. That's why I put the shaft up to get in the way. But when you watch those practice swings, it just shows you the potential for Andrew is to have like a great golf swing. So he's sitting around about 7-8 handicap. I'm thinking we're scratch if he gets this down, because he's a good short game putter. But it is bizarre, you know. You look at these patterns, and you go. Andrew looks at it and goes, "Why in the world would I do that? Like, why would that happen?" And you know, there's no real answer to that. You can just isolate it, analyze it, think of ways to try to feel it do the opposite thing, and just work away till you get it.